Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS in.form. I'm your host, Bill Potter. Well, everyone in some way is touched by cancer. And in this edition of WJTS in.form, we're going to talk to some folks who are associated with an event that's been going on for years and years and years, and that's the Relay for Life for the American Cancer Society. Joining me in the studio is the community manager for Relay for Life in Dubois County. Actually, she's the outgoing, has been here a couple of years, and that is Teri James. Hello. And we have the incoming, in training, Meagan Brown for the community manager Relay for Life. And we also want to thank John Winholt. He's in the studio, but he's very bashful, but he is a community champion for Relay for Life. Anybody that knows anything about Dubois County Relay for Life knows John Winholt. All right, ladies, let's talk about the Dubois County Relay for Life. Is coming up, what day, what time, and how does that work?
Our event this year will be on June 4th at Jasper Middle School from noon to midnight.
Now, that is a difference in time. Now, I'm going to go in a Wayback Machine. I remember when it was 24 hours. Started at 6 o'clock at night, ended at 6 o'clock the next day, and somebody had to be on the track all 24 hours.
Oh, I remember those days.
That was a neat concept, but people's lives change, and so things change.
Yes.
Is this the first year for this time frame, or is
It's
this
the second year for the time frame?
Okay.
Hopefully we'll be outside. Last year we had to move indoors because of the rain.
Well, the way the year's been going so far, who knows? Let's hope, though, that it
Yes,
will
we're
be
shooting
outside.
for outdoors this year.
Because that's the whole point. People
Yes.
have a great time. So it will run from 12 noon on Saturday, June 4th, until midnight?
On June 4th, yeah.
Does somebody have to be on the track from your team at all times? Is that
We
rule
like
still?
for them to be.
Okay.
We understand that they can't always. Just, you know, with the way things work out, people work on Saturdays, so they can't be there the whole time. So a lot of our teams do scheduling. They schedule their walkers for certain time periods. And then we also have times where we don't allow anyone to walk because we have one of our ceremonies going on.
Well, let's kind of talk about the itinerary, because that is really important, especially the survivor's lap and things like that. Either one of you can talk about how I guess, what's the first thing that happens?
The first thing that's going to happen is the opening ceremony. And I think that is just kind of our kickoff for the event, and people really get excited, and that's when we amp everybody up and, you know, tie your tennis shoes to get ready for the day. And then the survivor lap would be following the opening ceremony.
Okay, and that really is, while it's a somber event, it is also a very celebratory event.
Yes,
because we're celebrating the survivors.
Exactly.
And many people that you don't know, that you do know, and I mentioned at the beginning of the show, everyone in some way has been touched by cancer. Either you know someone who has cancer, you know someone who's died of cancer, a relative in some way, or you yourself may have cancer. What's the best part about the survivor lap? What's so special for you two?
Well, for me, it's just seeing the sea of purple. All the purple shirts, everyone out, walking, you know, we're cheering for them. It's just beautiful. I mean, there's really no other word for it. It's a beautiful celebration of life and community.
Megan?
And I think for me it's a combination, but definitely seeing the connections between the people out on the track, maybe a survivor that doesn't want to talk about it or has nobody to talk to, is out on that track talking to someone else and really connecting with them and seeing that smile and them walking around the track. It's just an amazing thing.
Now, the goal of the Relay for Life, which is a great fundraising idea somebody came up with, how many years ago?
31 years ago, a doctor
Yes,
in Tacoma,
okay.
Washington
Wow.
came up with it. And he ran a track in Tacoma, Washington for 24 hours by himself. I mean, he did it all on his own. He had people come out and pay to run or walk with him for 15, 30 minutes, and he raised close to $25,000.
Wow.
I mean, and then the next year it just exploded.
Took off.
Yeah, and really almost every county in every state does a Relay for Life.
yeah.
Now, some counties like Pike County does not.
Right.
However, they're part of the Dubois County
Yes,
event, right?
they go into one of the other counties surrounding them if they want to form a team. They're more than welcome.
And I know in the past you've been associated with Spencer County and their Relay for Life. So there's Relay for Lives no matter what county you're in. You can be
Yes.
involved in some way. And I'm sure you can just Google American Cancer Society Relay for Life to find a Relay for Life
Oh
near
yeah,
you.
you just type in the words relayforlife.org in your search engine, and it'll come up, and you just type in a zip code, and it'll take you to everyone that's around that zip code.
Now, the idea here is to raise money for American Cancer Society to use for research, for awareness, for pamphlets, things like that. All those cost money. So this is a fundraiser. How do you raise the money for those that aren't really sure of how a Relay for Life works?
Well, for Dubois County, they're a juggernaut. There's really no other word for it. In the 22 years they've been doing this, they've raised well over $2.5 million.
Wow.
Yeah, and they do everything from bake sales to wrestling nights at a local Outback. At the local teen Outback, they'll have wrestling nights. One of our teams hosts it. I have another team that does scrapbooking. They do like cropping for a cure. I mean, 5Ks. If you can dream it up, we can figure out how to do it.
So there's teams that raise money.
Yes.
Is there a certain amount that they have to raise to have a team, or is it kind of, if you can show up with $50, great. If you show up with $5,000, great.
Exactly right. We are willing to do everything. We do if you register a team and you have multiple participants on your team, we do say, to offset costs, we like each team member to raise $100. But you have the entire year to raise that $100. And then we have teams that raise as much as $13,000 and $14,000 to my team that raises $150 because I'm a team of one.
So you have to walk for 12 hours.
Yes.
Yeah, I bet that gets tough after a while.
So, yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure my team is probably one of the few that doesn't get to walk the entire 12 hours because I'm usually off doing something else. But
Now, another way of making funds is to sell candles. Is that right?
it's called a luminaria.
There we go. Okay, yes. Explain that. Megan?
The Luminaria bags are a way to celebrate and remember people who have been diagnosed with cancer. And this year we're doing the purple Luminaria bags, and they can be stamped with in memory or in celebration of. They can be decorated, and they're fundraisers for teens and individuals. And at the Luminaria ceremony, and this year we're doing glow sticks instead of candles, so we don't set anything on fire inside of them.
That's a good idea.
But we'll line the track with the Luminaria bags, and that's when she was saying there are certain ceremonies where we don't have people walking on the track, and at that time when we're doing that ceremony, we're going to read each individual name in memory or celebrating the survival or their loss to cancer, and it'll just be a really amazing sight to have all the bags lined up around the track glowing, and to walk by and see the people that have been touched by cancer. And we have cards, and you can go online and purchase the Luminaria bags, and all teams are selling them. We have grade school classes that we're decorating them, and you don't have to decorate them. You can just donate to it and purchase and have someone else decorate them.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be there for that part. If you want to buy a bag in memory of somebody, and that's a busy weekend for you, whatever it may be, buy the bag, somebody else takes care of it.
Absolutely, and it could be you buy it and you want to put somebody's name on it, and then we can take care of that and make sure it's on the track and make sure that their name is read.
Okay. Bags are being sold now, but you also sell them all night long, really all day.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Okay.
we sell them up until about 7:30, 8 o'clock because we have to have time to get them out on the track. The other thing we do, Megan had mentioned, we sell the purple bags again this year, but we always still have the white ones. But another thing Dubois County does is they do Torches of Hope, which they invite a person who wants to donate. And we do have a minimum donation of $100 for those, but you get an actual tiki torch, and it's lit, and we'll have a laminated card on it, and then you can take it with you when you leave. If we're inside, unfortunately, we can't do the tiki torches, but we do have an alternative. It's a candle that we use, an LED candle.
Well, let's hope that the weather cooperates and you won't have to worry about that.
Yes. Right.
And I guess some of these teams also will collect money that day. And we talk about teams, and a lot of people go, oh, I haven't registered a team. I don't have time to put one together. You're a team of one. So you can just you can join hers. You can just get a group of people together on Friday night and say, we're going to show up at the Relay for Life and do this, right?
Absolutely.
It's not like it's pre-registered. It's always good to know ahead of time, but
Well, and we encourage teams to register, because if you do, we have that time to order T-shirts in the correct sizes and for them to fundraise money. But anybody can show up, and just day of, if they're like, oh, we don't have anything to do, and they see it going on, we encourage everyone to come out, even 5 minutes, 2 hours, 12 hours.
I guess you could walk around the track and see the teams that have their themes set up. And if you like one, make a donation to them, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. And you know, our teams this year, we have a general theme for the relay all across the country. It's Paint Your World Purple. But Dubois County's theme this year is Relay is Right, or game shows. So our teams are encouraged to set up a game or an activity at their site, or do an on-site fundraiser of food. And we do have a couple of teams that have really gotten into the spirit of the game show theme, and we have a couple of games that are really kind of cool.
Now, I know the number of teams is going to change between now and the actual event, but do you have an idea how many teams you're looking at?
Right now we have 20 teams registered and a little under 200 participants registered at the moment. That does not include our survivors who will be registered, and anyone who shows up the day of, obviously.
And you can be on a team but not necessarily participate that day.
Yeah.
Or you can just say, I'm going to be a team, here's my donation. That is fine too.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we have teams that do that. They fundraise all year, and then unfortunately the weekend comes and they can't come.
Sure.
So, yep.
What's the goal for this? Is there a goal? Okay, what's
It's
the goal?
$70,000 is Dubois County's goal this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And they're on a pretty good start for it. So hopefully we'll get that money in. But we have until August 31st to turn in money for it to count towards this year's total.
What was last year's?
Last year they raised a little over $66,000.
Okay.
They just barely missed their goal of 68.
Okay, so but 70.
70
is
is this year's total. Yeah.
Okay.
Is the total goal.
And so people, the nice thing about the American Cancer Society is you have a great web presence in that people can make donations easily through the web. Do teams register on the web? So if I know that you have a team and I want to make a donation to your team, I can go and find you?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
yes. It's really easily. We have a website. It's www.relayforlife, and it's all spelled out, .org/Dubois County IN.
Okay.
And then it'll come up and it'll say teams, and you can say you can hit the orange button that says sign up. You can pick a team to sign up. You can start your own team, however you want, and you can also make donations through that site as well.
So a very special day coming up, June 4th.
Yes.
And this again runs from noon to midnight. Anybody can show up at any time. And I think if you've never been to a Relay for Life, and if you wonder what it's like and what the whole point of it is, show up for the Survivors Walk.
Yes.
And I think that's the one. And what time is that? Do we know?
It'll roughly be between 12:15 and 12:30.
Okay.
In the afternoon. The other thing we did want to mention is that we do have a survivor dinner.
Yes.
It is scheduled for June 1st at Shiloh Church here in Jasper. You can start checking in as early as 5:30, and then the dinner will start at 6. And we have a choir that's going to sing and perform for us while we're there. So.
Now, you mentioned a choir, makes me think of, is there entertainment? People are walking for 12 hours. That's a long time. Is there entertainment? What?
Yes, we have a DJ and a band.
And
So I'm not sure who the band is though.
A DJ and a band?
Yeah, it's the DJ is the DJ we had last year, so he's coming back and he's awesome. And then we have, I believe the band is Rooney and the Rump Shakers.
yeah,
could be.
I
Okay.
believe
So
so.
they performed last year as well. And then, like we said, we have games and activities and theme laps. One of the big highlights is our gator wrestling.
We have
Yeah,
some
you have-
life-size games that are going to be
Yes.
there. So game show, but life-size. So about 3 feet tall, maybe.
Yeah.
And we also are going to have a really cool photo booth that is going to be brought out. It's going to be a real one, not just where you stand there and get pictures. So it's going to be really neat.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a great day, and a great day to do something for a good cause.
Absolutely.
Ladies, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Our guests have been Teri James. Teri is the community manager for Relay for Life for Dubois County. She's taking care of it this year, but she's outgoing. So the incoming community manager for Relay for Life Dubois County for next year, learning the ropes this year, is Meagan Brown. They both have been our guests. Thank you for watching WJTS in.form. Remember, the Dubois County Relay for Life is June 4th at the Jasper Middle School, the track right there, and starts at noon, ends at midnight. Thank you for watching WJTS in.form. We're local people watching local people.